Hey guys, Anthony with the Rad Company, and in today's video, we're going to be comparing KCX Eulex and KCX-T on which is the best to remove adhesive from leftover PPF. Let's compare them. All right guys, so in today's video, we're gonna be comparing two popular solvents from Koch Chemie. And one side we have KCX Eulex, and then we have KCX-T. Now, T is relatively new to the US market, and there's a little bit of confusion when it comes to this product because they wonder, is this like this, or is this like this? And I'm here to kind of hopefully make things a little bit easier to follow. So in short, KCX-T was designed for tar and asphalt, meaning that if you have a lot of tar in your car, this is gonna remove that pretty easily. However, KCX Eulex can also remove tar pretty easily and some other things on the exterior. One thing to note is that these two are very similar to each other. However, T is noticeably less strong than KCX Eulex is. So this is maybe more concentrated, it's more powerful, but this also has a different smell, a different feel, and a different look to it. So they are two different products, but I wanna see how well they can do on the adhesive on this front bumper over here. Now, part of our PPF removal video, we removed like 15-year-old PPF off the front of this RSX bumper that I believe probably was a factory option, and it left behind an ungodly amount of adhesive. So I was initially gonna dive in with Eulex, and I thought, well, maybe I'll use T instead. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll use Eulex. And then maybe I thought, well, why don't I just make a comparison video showing you the two differences between both of them? So pretty straightforward. We are going to take Eulex to one side, and we're gonna use T on the other side. We're gonna see what does a better job, what maybe leaves a better finish, or what has a better user experience. I also have some white microfiber towels for our wipe off. I have the pearl applicators for application of the solvents, and then of course gloves because you want to be safe. Now, I recommend doing this in an open, aired environment, preferably with a window open or a garage door open, or even just outside. And if you don't have any of those things, you're in a tight space, wear a respirator. So with that said, we're gonna turn on the fan, open up that door, and start knocking out Eulex on one side of the bumper. All right, so we got KCX Eulex in hand. I have my pearl applicator. And so my plan of action here is to apply the product on here and let it start to break down all of that adhesive. After that, I'm gonna come back through with the microfiber towel and see if I can simply just wipe it off. I don't think it's gonna be that easy, but we're gonna test it out. So pop the cap off of here, grab our applicator, put about that much. And then from here, we're gonna start applying it to the adhesive. Again, go over that tape line there so we can have some separation between Eulex and T. And this is gonna start softening up all of this glue. And then hopefully we'll be able to come back through with a microfiber towel and make this really simple for us. Oh my gosh, this adhesive is horrible down here. That is like, I don't even think the PPF took any of that with it. I think it left it all on the paint. That is, yeah, that's probably worst case scenario. All right, so now that we've hit everything with Eulex, we're gonna let that sit for just a minute or two, let it soften everything up, and then we're gonna come back through with one of the microfiber towels, with a little bit more Eulex, and we can actually start focusing on scrubbing and removing some of this stuff. And I think it'll turn out pretty good. I think there might be a little bit of leftover, but I'm excited to see how it's gonna look, because after that, we're gonna polish this thing up and we're gonna see how good we make this bumper look after all these years. All right, so it's been a couple minutes here. Gonna take a little bit more of my Eulex, put it on a white microfiber towel, and I am going to just start focusing on an area and start the scrubbing. Now this, for the most part, can take a long time. It can also take a little bit of time. I'm thinking, based on the way this is looking, we can probably do a few more applications to soften a lot of this stuff up. And or grab perhaps a bug scrubber and come back through and see if we can scrub some of this stuff off as well. Hey again. You're probably wondering what's up with the change of scenery, and that's because we started using Eulex on this side of the bumper, and it started gassing out the entire studio and everybody kicked us outside. So here we are for round 2 of removing this adhesive. Now, a quick thing to note, the Eulex is actually doing an amazing job. All this stuff was really coming up and it was really softening. However, there's layers and layers of this adhesive that we were not breaking through with the Eulex. So we had to bust out a couple of the plastic KCX razor scrapers to be able to make the job go a little bit faster. So what's gonna happen from here, I'm gonna pull in some more help because I haven't already had all the help I needed. And I'm gonna continue with Eulex on this side, now with the help of some scrapers, and I'm gonna pull in Gabe to help me with this side with using T and scrapers as well. So we still have a lot of work, but I am determined that we can make this bumper beautiful. Let's get after it. All right guys, so we just finished up with both sides here and it turned out pretty good. A lot better than I was expecting. We had a couple small casualties and I'll explain that here in just a minute, but for the most part, Eulex here, amazing, the most aggressive. It's going to really soften up the adhesive. It's gonna make things really easy. However, it's also going to soften up the clear coat, meaning that the second you apply it to an area, you can feel the clear has some extra catchiness to it. And especially if you're using a plastic scraper, that's where things get a little dicey, meaning that we had softened the clear, softened the adhesive. I was taking that razor blade and I happen to have a bad little kind of cut in one section and I took out a chunk of the clear and the paint and the primer, and I got down to bare plastic. So not ideal. I would say if you're using Eulex, use it only with a towel and do not use it with any type of scraper or anything like that, just to reduce the chances of scratching or potentially getting underneath the paint and lifting something that you don't want. Now, T on the other hand was something that completely blew us away. We didn't really know what kind of expectations to have, but it was really able to keep up with Eulex, but just in a different way. It's not as aggressive as Eulex, but a couple of the things that we noticed was that it did not soften the clear like Eulex did, and it also sat on the surface for longer before flashing off. For example, Eulex, we would apply it, and before you know it, it would be gone. T just kind of sat on the surface, and so we were able to work it, able to take the towel, take the plastic scraper, and get a little bit more life out of each application. So in terms of what's best, it really depends on the situation. Eulex, it's gonna be fast, it's gonna be quick, it's gonna be easy, but it's also going to potentially soften the clear. T, on the other hand, it's not gonna soften the clear, but it's gonna take multiple applications. And yeah, again, wasn't designed for this, but also performed beautifully. So hopefully this video helps kind of compare the two. They're both amazing products. You can't go wrong with having one of each within your cabinet, and hopefully you guys learned something new. So as always, if you guys enjoy these kind of product comparisons or just learning more here at the Rad Company YouTube channel, please make sure to give us a big thumbs up, subscribe down below for more, and stay tuned for more videos right here at the Rad Company.